Hi, I've been blogging about mental health off and on for a good 4 years now. And one of the main questions that I get a lot, and I mean a lot, is what the heck is stigma? You've heard me talk about stigma in all of my videos. I talk about we need to fight the stigma around mental health. We need to talk about mental health to break down the stigma surrounding it. But I've never really talked about what stigma is and how we can fight it in our daily lives. So that is what this video is all about. So what is stigma? According to mentalhealth.gov, stigma is a mark of disgrace that sets a person apart. I also found this other definition of stigma that I like personally, which is stigma is a perceived negative attribute that causes someone to devalue or think less of a whole person. When a person is labeled by their illness, it puts them in a stereotyped group. These stereotypes that we label mentally ill people make them feel devalued, diminished, and fearful. Mental illness, despite the years and years of research that we've been doing on the brain and illnesses, is still seen as a sign of weakness in our society. Stigma brings experiences and feelings of shame, guilt, hopelessness, misrepresentation in the media, blame, and reluctance to seek and accept the help that they need. 1 in 5 Americans will experience some sort of mental health condition this year, and only 25% of those Americans say that they feel like their support system is comfortable with them talking about their mental health. That leaves 75% of people who are fearful to talk about their mental health because they don't want to be labeled as mentally ill. They don't want to be labeled as weak, as crazy, as violent, as all of these labels that we put on to mentally ill individuals. There are many stereotypes surrounding the mental illness label, but one of the most common ones is people who are mentally ill are violent, when in fact, people who have a mental illness are more likely to be the victim of violence rather than do violence themselves. Fear has driven mental health discrimination for hundreds of years. A few hundred years ago, if you came out as having a mental illness, whatever it be, you were thrown into institutions. Your family did not take care of you. You were thrown into institutions for people to help and to cure you, but we were still experimenting on the different types of treatments that would help mentally ill individuals. Patients in these institutions were treated more like prisoners than actual patients. They were not treated with care. There were a lot of treatments that went on in these institutions. You probably heard a lot of them before: hot showers, insulin comas, frontal lobe lobotomies, isolation, restraints. If you would like a video on the things that we used to do to treat mental illness, I would love to make a video on that because it's a very hard thing to talk about, but we used to do this stuff to mentally ill people. Currently, we have made giant leaps in the care of mentally ill patients. We are treating them with kindness, respect, dignity. We have actual treatments that actually work. We are talking about mental health. We are doing a lot of things in our society that does help mentally ill patients, but we are still lacking in a few areas. The media still blames mental illness for national tragedies like mass shootings. They only blame mental health and mental illness when it's convenient. Mental health is still not portrayed correctly in the media and the movies that we watch. This adds to the stigma surrounding mental health. Just look at this movie that is coming out in January. No one is talking about this stuff, and it needs to be talked about. Whenever a celebrity comes out to say that they have a mental health problem, the media goes misconception frenzy. Last month, Lady Gaga came out and said that she had PTSD, and the media went wild. A lot of people said that she was lying and faking the mental illness for attention, which is totally not true, but a very common thing that a lot of people have to deal with. When Lindsay Lohan and Charlie Sheen are having problems with their mental health, we don't talk about mental health, we just talk about how crazy they are. The media doesn't start the conversation of mental health in a positive light to talk about how to get treatment. No, we talk about how crazy they are, and that doesn't add anything to the conversation. Many law enforcement officials still don't know how to handle mental health patients when they encounter them. People who live with a mental health condition are scared to tell their place of employment because they don't want to get a professional punishment. When a doctor gives a depression diagnosis, they never follow up to see how the person is doing. As you can see, there is a lot of things that make it hard for people to reach out for the help that they need. Our goal is to make mental health as important as physical health to our society, to help people understand these misconceptions of mental health and just give them the facts, and to help our society be a more accepting and safe place. This starts with us, and this starts right now. So how can we challenge stigma when we see it? How can we spread mental health awareness in our daily lives? Learn and share correct facts about mental health. I will leave some resources down below that help me when I'm trying to share facts about mental health with others in my family and in my friend group. Get to know the people who are suffering with these issues. Share experiences. Share stories. Maybe join a support group if you are suffering with something and get to know people who are just like you. Do not use stigmatizing language. This is really hard because language is so ingrained in our society and we just say it whenever we want to express how we're feeling. Don't use the words crazy, lunatic, psycho. Don't say that the weather outside is bipolar. Don't say that you're OCD because you like to clean or you like things clean, because that's not what OCD is. Challenge your vocabulary and start saying different words. Speak up when you hear misconceptions about mental health in your friend, family, or school groups. It starts with us. If we share this information that we know to be true, other people will know it, and then they'll share with their groups, and it will grow and grow and grow. Do not judge others with a mental illness, because they deserve respect and dignity. See the person and not the illness. These people didn't choose to have this illness. And talk openly about your own experiences. Maybe you have personal experiences with depression, anxiety, OCD, whatever you have. You're the only person with your story, and you need to share it, because the more we share about our mental health story, the more it's going to be normalized in our society, and the better it will be for others. Stigma is not something that is going to go away on its own. We need to work together as a community and as a society to change the way people think about mental health. Don't be one of those people who thinks that what I'm talking about today does not exist, because it does, and it's happening all over the world in many different aspects. If you would like more information on how to be a mental health advocate, please subscribe to this channel. I'll be posting a lot of videos and blog posts in the upcoming months to help you be an advocate for mental health. I have many videos on the misconceptions of different mental health disorders. I have many videos on how to help people with mental health disorders. And I have many videos that if you know someone who is suffering, you can send them. My channel is filled with a lot of good mental health content. I love you guys. Please stay safe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.